Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshai Israel of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This particular teaching, this particular video right here, is not going to be very, very long. Nonetheless, we want to have this presentation Hebrew for speaking, Hebrew conversation and manners. Shalom. The goal in this presentation, having already rehearsed the alphabet and vowels and becoming a reader, we want to work on our vocabulary. By doing so, a good standard dictionary is recommended. Okay? Next slide. Suggested book. For this class, we will use this dictionary in matter of gleaning vocabulary. Now, as we've gone over before, you understand there's the thing in the aspect of what? You learn the alphabet, the vowels. Once you understand that, you are automatically a reader. I want to emphasize that, brothers and sisters. The most simplest way, brothers and sisters, to become a reader in Hebrew, right? To understand the alphabet and vowels. Now, it's not very, very difficult. We've gone over the alphabet, we've gone over the vowels. If there's any questions concerning that, feel free to ask in the comment board. Feel free to ask once this video has been uploaded. All right. And for those who are listening or who will hear this later and are not aware of the Hebrew alphabet, all you got to do is go to Hebrew lesson number 3 as well as Hebrew lesson number 6 on the same particular channel, and that information is available. All right. So now what we're looking at, brothers and sisters, on the right-hand side is a suggested dictionary in order to build our vocabulary. As we're going over in the last class, brothers and sisters, you are having to wear what? When you get right down into the language itself. If you are a chef, you will want to know how to say the word like I stated for cook. All right. So let's look at this real quick. All right. For edification purposes. The word for cook, all right, or the same word for roast, if you will, in Hebrew, right? In root, all right, is the word bishel. All right. So just want that to be noted for edification purposes. All right. Now, the word, for instance, for stove, brothers and sisters, all right, is the word want to erase that part right there. Is the word tanor. The word for stove is the word tanor. That's a noon right there. All right. So I just want to emphasize on that particular aspect. Now, when you are saying I am cooking, for instance, in Hebrew, one would say ani, which is I or I am, right? We've gone over the pronouns in lesson number 24. Ani, mebashel. All right. Ani mebashel, if we will, right? so we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. Mebashel. Ani mebashel. I am cooking. All right. Ani mebashel al hatanor. I am cooking on the stove. So that is the point, brothers and sisters. All right. Once it comes down to this particular aspect, and why this book, which you can get online, is suggested, because from this you can build your vocabulary. All right. So now let's emphasize this as we've done in the past. All right. Once one is a reader, one gets a standard and builds personal. I want to emphasize that. All right. Now, what do I mean by personal vocabulary? Is because you might be able to just sit there and be able to glean information, all right, for yourself, like your particular vocabulary list based upon what you like to do. All right. If you want to sit there and become a singer, all right, let's look at that, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right. Now, if you look at, for instance, the word for singer, all right, is the word shaw. The word for song, brothers and sisters, is the word shir. Shir, brothers and sisters, is the word, all right? The word shir means song. Now, when you say shar, that also means singing or a present tense of such. So ani shar shir means I am singing a song. A female would say ani shara shir. All right? Now, are there any questions concerning what we've gone over so far? Anyone? Any questions that concerning what we've gone over so far? Okay. So let's continue on, brothers and sisters, in this particular regard. Next slide, please. The lexicon we will get into, all right? A Hebrew and English lexicon of the Old Testament with an appendix containing the biblical Aramaic based on the lexicon of William Gesenius, as translated by Edward Robinson. All right, now what we're looking at right here, okay, we want to highlight Hebrew and English lexicon of the Old Testament. This is available on Amazon for about, we're talking like $20 round off. All right. So we can gain understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. Okay. So now looking at this right here, going back to this slide right here, this is the suggested first book that one gets as far as wanting to build vocabulary. Okay. Now, what we're looking at on this particular slide, as stated, right? You have Hebrew and English lexicon, right, of the Old Testament. You can get both of these books online. Now, when you're dealing with this particular aspect of the lexicon, it's similar to like a concordance, all right, but just in Hebrew for the Hebrew of the Old Testament. All right. I wouldn't suggest a person get this directly, immediately, but in time as your information on Hebrew increases. But I can promise you, if you listen to lesson number 1 to lesson number 52, you should get this book that's already on this channel. This book right here is baby. If you already listened from lesson 1 to lesson number 52, this book right here is baby walk. All right. Next slide. How are you? We should learn the words we use on a regular basis as the groundwork for conversation. It is not necessarily, pardon me, it is not necessary to go through at this point each and every binyan or building verb structure before we embark in a matter of speaking. So what are we looking at, brothers and sisters? All right, we're seeing this wording right here. How are you? Now I want to, all right, brothers and sisters, get into this because there is, as may my one of my main Hebrew teachers, rest in peace, More Mishael, One of the things he pointed out is that Hebrew is the language of gender. So we want to sit there and take the time out now to show how this works in that particular regard. All right. Ma. Okay, let's go here. All right. Ma shalom ka. Now, when you're saying ma shalom ka, right? Ma means what or how, as we see here. Excuse me. Shalom, as we know, means peace, right? So now, when you say shalom ka, you're saying your peace. So when we say or ask the question in this regard, right? Ma shalom ka, what you are literally saying is how or what are you or what is your peace? Literally, the literal translation of ma shalom ka is what is your peace or how is your peace? Now, keeping it positive, the response is my peace is good. So we want to sit there and, like I said, exercise, want to sit there and show how it will look with the aspect of the vowels in this particular case. All right? Because these are basic things to get into for conversation purposes. Ah, pardon that. All right, let's do that part again. Mm-hmm. With the schwa there, the colon, and the kirik. Shalomi. Shalomi Tob, which means my peace is good. Now, I want to circle and emphasize something, brothers and sisters, right? And let's use yellow for this. You see this part right there with the capsule feet, brothers and sisters, in that particular regard, right? What we have just sat there and circled, okay, brothers and sisters, that shows the ka. Now, ma shalom ka. That's how you say, how are you, or what is your peace, literally, when you're speaking to a male. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a male to a male or a female to a male. I would say to any male, ma shalom ka. A female would say to any male, ma shalom ka. All right, because who you're talking to in this particular regard is a male. All right, ma shalom ka. How are you? Now, the person keeping it positive would say, shalomi tov. My peace is good. Are there any questions concerning what we've just gone over? You'll be surprised, not trying to be funny, hearing and seeing that people not trying to be deceitful might think you're very, very fluent in Hebrew from just that right there. You understand? So when we say, excuse me, sorry about that, but when we say, brothers and sisters, that Hebrew is easy, there is a reason. Shalom Achi Shuvadia Yehuda, Ma Shalom Ka. Shuvadia Yehuda, Imata Shomea Oti. Ma Shalom Ka, Aki. All right. So once it comes down to that. Now, we're going to have to go, and like, may he rest in peace, my teacher Mordecai Mishael had pointed out, Hebrew being the language of gender, right? So let's look at it in this particular regard, if we will, please. All right. We have ma, Ma Shalomek. All right. Ma Shalomek. All right. I asked Tuvadia Ma Shalomo, which means how's his peace? The response is Ani Tob, I am well, Baruch Hashem, Ki Ani Sameach. Says, blessed be the creator because I am happy. All right. Ani Saslaka Ki Ata Sameach Adon. All right. So let's continue on in this regard. Now, this right here, that's the colon. I'm gonna erase that to make it look more so like that, if we will. All right. All righty. So let's look at this now, brothers and sisters, in this particular regard. Now, Ma Shalomek, all right. This is F female. FEM stands for female. A female would ask a female, Ma Shalomek. All right. A male will ask a female, Ma Shalomek. All right. So we already gone over Ma Shalomka. And now, as we can see, we see Ma Shalomek, which means how are you? All right. When speaking to a female, are there any questions concerning this? And I want to emphasize something while we're here. Let's look at this word that we're seeing being written on the left side of this PowerPoint. Right? Going back, getting a pen again. All right. We have that, and we have this here. Shalomka, Shalomek. Exact same spelling. More evidence as to why there must be vowels. So let's look at this. Shalomka, Shalomek. Now, if we look at just the mem and the kaf sofit, right? Shalom, ka, and here we have shalomek. Notice, brothers and sisters, the shawat is within the kaf sofit here. Notice that the qamat is inside the kaf sofit there. In any case, brothers and sisters, this word here being, all right, a noun, and you have the kaf sofit serving in this regard, all right, as the suffix. It means your whatever. If this been a verb, that kaf sofit would have served as you. So Adonka is your Lord, if you will. All right. Yadka is your hand. Shalomka is your peace. All right. So that's the distinction with that. So now getting back, brothers and sisters, if we will, right? At this particular regard, right? Let's look and see what we can sit there and show for edification purposes. Ma Ma Shalomka. Pardon me, Ma Shalomek. All right. When you're speaking to a female, now that's a male to a female or a female to a female. The response, keeping it positive, all right, would be Shalomi Tob. Now, a female responding back to the question of how are you or what is your peace, she would still say Shalomi Tob. She will not say Shalomi Toba. So let's look at this right here and emphasize on what we're talking about for edification purposes. All right. There's Tob, which is good, right? And then there's Toba, which is also good. Now, when you're speaking to a female and you're asking Ma Shalomek, all right, she does not properly respond by saying Shalomi Toba. That is wrong. That is wrong. She would say Shalomi Tob. Now, we already know that Tob is an adjective as the masculine. Why then will the female use a adjective that's masculine? Is because the adjective has to agree with the noun. Because shalom itself is masculine, the adjective that goes according with it must also agree in gender, even though it's a female speaking. Are there any questions concerning what we're talking about? Please, if there are, type it in. Are there any questions on why a female would say Shalomi Tob and not Shalomi Toba? Questions concerning that? Now, let me explain one more time because I didn't want it to just be shot over or so forth and so on. Now, female FEM, how are you or what is your peace in literal, right? One would say Ma Shalomek, Ma Shalomek. The person female, all right, regardless of age, keeping it positive, would say Shalomi Tob. She does not say, though she's female, Shalomi Toba, because this adjective that we see here, all right, is masculine because this ends with a masculine in this. Peace in Hebrew is said as shalom. That's masculine, so the adjective with it must also be masculine. All right, let's go on to the next slide. Have a good day. Now, Yom Tov Lakah, right? Yom Tov Lakah means what? Have a good day. Or literally, all right? Or literally what? A good day to you. Lakah. This kaf sofit has a kwamatz in it. So what are we looking at? Yom Tov Lakah. All right, means a good day to you. All right, for edification purposes. So, brothers and sisters, for those who just joined on, all right, we're going over the aspect of Hebrew conversation and manners. You know, like have a good day and so forth and so on. All right. So now looking at it like that, Yom Tov Lakah. Now, this is, as I stated in actual Quamats. This is when you're speaking to oh boy. This is when you're speaking, all right, to a male. When you're speaking to a male, you will say Yom Tov Lakah. All right? It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female in this particular regard because of whom you're speaking to. When you're speaking about yourself, then your gender matters. But when you're speaking to someone, you would just say Yom Tov Lakah. Now let's look at it like this, brothers and sisters, all right? Let's try it with the black and see. Yom Tov Lak. Yom Tov Lak. This is, brothers and sisters, when you are speaking, regardless of your gender, to a female. I would say to my friend who helps me with these PowerPoints, the sister Dammy, I would say Yom Tov Lak. Have a good day. Now, why would you say to a female the word Tob, even though we know Toba is the feminine word for female? I mean, it's the feminine way of saying good, right? Because the adjective must agree with the noun. Since Yom is masculine, the thing describing it must also be masculine in gender. Are there any questions about this? All right. Are there any questions on why a female will be told Yom Tov Lak? Have a good day. A good day to you. All right. And not Yom Toba, which Toba being a feminine way of saying good. Because Yom is masculine. Tob is masculine. The adjective in this case, all right, we want to sit there and underline, if we will, what the adjective is. Good. Good. The adjective in Hebrew must agree with its noun. All right. Now, what else can we point out, brothers and sisters? The adjective in Hebrew follows the noun. All right. So you say yom. All right. We want to color code it by underlining it in different colors, right? And let's look at green, for instance. All right. Yom and day. We already went over that in the past. Yom and day. Yom Tob. It's not Tob Yom. Hebrew has structure and grammar. The adjective follows the noun. All right. Are there any questions about this so far? All right. Now, the adjective, brothers and sisters, follows the noun in Hebrew. So let's look at this right here. Right? Yom Tov Lak, if you were speaking to a female. So let's look. And I want to write this in black, if we will. Right? Lakah. and lock. More evidence on why there has to be vowels. To you, when speaking to a male, to you, when speaking to a female. Now, on this channel, Hebrew lesson number 15, the prepositions that we just talked about right here are discussed. For those who are interested, you can go to Hebrew lesson number 15. All right? Yom Tov Lak. That's what I would say, for instance, to my sister and my friend who's a female, right? Are there any questions? Okay, let's erase this part here and explain what we're looking at right here. I hope good for you, right? Ani, that's I or I am. Be it if you're a male, you will say ani. If you're a female, you will still say ani. Ani, what? Ani mikwawe. I hope. Now I want to sit there and color code this by underlining it, right? I hope. The word for hope, all right? I didn't want to underline the mikwawe because I didn't want it's already some vowels down there, so I left it at that. Hope and mikwawe is the same word in Hebrew. All right, the word for hope in Hebrew. Now, brothers and sisters, what we're looking at is the present tense form of the PL stem. All right, this mem we see here serves as a prefix inside of the present tense PL stem, which we've gone over the PL within like number 40 and 41. No, actually 40, the PL is in number 42 and 43, all right, of the on this channel. So the thing that's left, if we were to, for instance, right, drop off this mem, you will have kuf, wow, and hey. Kwawe means to hope. But now, in the present tense of the PL stem, all right, we know good and well that you have the mem that serves as a prefix. So ani mikwawe, okay? And we want to color code this part in black. Tob, pardon. Tob laka. Ani mikwawe, I hope. Good. Tob laka. Ani mikwawe tob laka. Now that is a male saying it to a male. All right. Laka, also male. Are there any questions? All right. Are there any questions concerning this so far? All right. Let's continue. Now let's look at this. And we want to color code this a little different, if we will, right? Let's pick red. All right. No, let's pick yellow. A bit more feminine, if we will. As a matter of fact, let's pick white. Ani Ani Mkwawa. That's how a female would say hope. Ani Mekwawa Tob Laka. Now this Laka, all right, we want to point out is masculine. So a female, okay, brothers and sisters, she would say what, as we have pointed out? Male. Make that more so of an A as best as we could. Laka, male, meaning to you. All right. A female is saying this sentence here. Ani Mekwawa. You notice, brothers and sisters, we want to sit there and show the laser. You have the Quamats and then the Hey. That's actually over 90% of the identification of it being a female thing. Okay. Ani Mekwawa Tob Laka. I am hoping, or I hope, good for you. This is a female when speaking to it. Are there any questions concerning this? When a female is saying, I hope good for you, all right, she says, Ani Mekwawa Tob Laka. All right, any questions? Can I get a 2 if I can be heard from anyone? Can I get a 2 if I can be heard? All right. Now, brothers and sisters, a female, all right, would say, Ani Mekwawa Tob Lak. All right. Now, FEM, feminine. Lak is also feminine. So a female to a female would say, Ani Mekwawa Tob Lak. All right. Which means I hope good for you. All right. So if there's any questions concerning the gender, the aspect, the morals, the rules, and so forth, let me know. Next slide. All right. Call me. Now, let's put this, brothers and sisters, inside of the red pen, if we will. Quara OT. When you're speaking to a male and you're saying, call me, you would say, what? Quara OT. OT means me. Now, whether you're a male or a female, OT is still me. All right? Quara. This is called the command form. Okay? Quara OT. Call me. If a female is talking to a male, she would say Quara OT. Are there any questions about this so far? All right. Now, as pointed out, call me when speaking to a female, right? What are we looking at, brothers and sisters? We have what? Queer E OT. All right. Any questions so far? We'll say what? Queer E OT. So if which I am a male, if I say to a female, right, call me, what I am saying in Hebrew, I would say queer E, this race has a shawah with it, queer E OT, call me. Now, if a female is talking to a female, she would also say what? Queer E OT. So now we have what? The quara, it's masculine. Then we have the feminine, queer E OT. Now, ani is said by a man or a woman, or male or female, as well as OT, meaning me, is also said by a male or a female. All right. So this is something we just want to point out for edification purposes. All right. Are there any questions concerning this at all? All right. Next slide. Exercises. We're going to get back to this one. Hebrew is easy. On lulu.com. All right. Lulu.com. All right. And then we have, brothers and sisters, Show Levy at AOL.com. This is her book. This book, So You Want to Learn Hebrew, is actually, I want to state more in depth in my book. All right. But you can't get her book on Amazon. You have to get her book, brothers and sisters, by going to her to the email. All right. Showlevy at AOL.com. That's how you will be able to acquire her book. All right. You would email her and converse from that particular point. Now, you can email me too, but I prefer people do get the book that I wrote online on lulu.com. All right. So hopefully that's understood for edification purposes. All right. Are there any questions concerning this kind of subject that we have gone over in this Hebrew lesson, brothers and sisters, called Hebrew Conversation and Manners? Now, ah, let's look at this right here. When it says exercises, right? Here, lakah, M stands for male or masculine. All right. Lock, F, female or feminine. All right? Once it comes down to that particular point. So, in lesson number 15, brothers and sisters, we begin to know and see, all right, about this particular aspect. You may want to look this up on this channel. Lesson number 15 goes into the lakar and so forth and all of that, right? Now, any questions? All right. So, let's look for edification purposes. You have ani and you have ot. I and me. Now, this is by masculine or female. A female will say OT, a male will say OT. A female will say ani, and a male will say ani. Are there any questions concerning that? Okay. Now, I want to emphasize something else and then close out. Now, let's look at this, brothers and sisters. All right. Now, this, now, guy may seem kind of redundant, but this is very, very important to understand concerning the aspect of the language. Quara. Quara. Masculine. Now that's whether or not you are a male or a female. You would still say quara ot. Now this is a review for those. We're going back through the slides and reviewing for those who joined on later on. All right. Quara ot. So if any female were to say to me, call me, she would say quara ot. If any male were to say it, he will say the same thing, quara ot. Now I want to color code this into the yellow. All right, the pen. Here we have query ot. All right. FEM. All right. If a female is talking to a female, or if a male is talking to a female saying, call me, you would say the exact same thing. Query ot. Are there any questions concerning this? Questions or comments concerning this kind of subject? One person said Ang Lee, which means I have not. All right, let's go back. Let's look at this for those who joined along later on, right? You have Yom Tov Lak. Yom Tov Lak. Now, remember, brothers and sisters, oh, I erased it. Well, Lak is when you're speaking to a female. Okay? Laka is when you're speaking to a male. So now when you say this, Have a good day. You would say what? Yom Tov Lak, when you're speaking to a female. If you were speaking, all right, to a male, one would say Yom Tov Lakah. Now, the reason why I'm going there in this particular aspect, brothers and sisters, is because we want to point out for edification purposes about the masculine and the feminine. All right? And manners. Now, let's look at this. Yom Tov Lakah. Because what we're doing right now, for those who came a little later, is just reviewing some stuff. And we want to color code, all right? And let's put this, let's see how purple look. It's underlined. All right? No. I know what I'm going to do with this eraser thing. We want to erase that, right? And we want to put this, brothers and sisters, in the highlights. And we want to highlight this red, all right? And highlight this in red. And then we want to highlight the other word that we're going to deal with in yellow. And highlight day in yellow. Have a good day to you when speaking to a male. Yom Tov. The Tov, okay, we want to sit there and show and emphasize again. All right. A D J. The adjective. In Hebrew, the adjective follows the noun. So good day or a good day is Yom Tov. All right. Now, if you're speaking and hoping somebody to have a good day, and the person is a male, you will say Yom Tov Lakah, not Tov Yom. Hebrew's not backward. We could say maybe English is, but you don't want to have to always try to sound condescending to get your point across. So let's just say there are rules in Hebrew and there are rules in English. All right? The adjective follows the noun in Hebrew. Are there any questions about this? All right? We're going to erase that part. All right? And we want to show something, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes, if we will. Let's use green. Yom Tov Lak. The Shawah is within the Kaso feet. All right? We want to have to do that one over. That has to be done over. Okay, so let's look. Yom Tov Lak. So if I was speaking to my assistant here, Dami, right, I would say Yom Tov Lak. All right? Have a good day. A good day to you. If a female was speaking to a female, one would still say Yom Tov Lak. All right. Are there any questions? Please ask if there are any questions. All right. Because this gets into the aspect of conversation and manners. And this is very important. This is like beginning stage. But like I'm saying, if you start talking like this, Ani told Lee, Shalomi told, people will swear not to be deceitful that you're fluent. And it will build more confidence in you learning. Like, wow, you know it. And then you will learn more and more and more. Any questions or comments concerning this? All right. Now let's review, okay, what we went over in the bottom part here. Ani mekwawe. And we want to highlight something, brothers and sisters. All right. See what's being highlighted? Hope. Mekwawe is hope. Now, this is, as we want to point out, male speaking. When a male is speaking and he is saying, I hope, he says, what? Ani mekwawe. Now, as we've gone over earlier in this lesson, right, we've emphasized that what? That mem that you see right here, we're going to circle the mem in red. All right? This serves as a prefix in the present tense, and this verb here being the PL stem. We've actually gone over this, as I stated earlier, lesson number, 43 and 40, 43, 42 and 43 is the PL stem. Because I remember number 44 being dedicated to my teacher, the Pual stem. But getting back into this, right? Ani mekwawe, I hope. Tob laka. Tob laka. Ani mekwawe tob laka. I hope good for you. Now, as we've gone over before, if you were speaking to a female, right, you would say Ani mekwawe tob lak. Any questions concerning what we've gone over? Ani mekwawe tob lak. I hope good for you. All right. Now we want to emphasize on something else, brothers and sisters. Now we already went over that the mekwawe is the aspect of, as we see here, male speaking. So we want to show how it is for review purposes when it is when a female is speaking. All right. Ani mekwawa. FEM speaking. Come on now, work with me. Alrighty. All right. A female speaking, saying, I hope, brothers and sisters, would say, as pointed out right there, Ani mekwawa. Ani mekwawa. Now, she would say, Ani mekwawa tob lak, when she is speaking to a female. All right. Now let's look. When she, the same female or any female, all right, is speaking to a male, she would say, Ani mekwawa tob laka. So if she was speaking to a female, she would still say what? Ani mekwawa tob lak. If she's speaking to a male, she would say Ani mekwawa tob laka. All right? Are there any questions concerning this kind of subject? Any questions or comments concerning what we've gone over, brothers and sisters? All right, let's go on and continue. Now, how are you? We should learn the words we use on a regular basis as the groundwork for conversation. Ma shalomek. Now, if you notice, you have the zere and then the kaf with the shawat within it. All right. The same way you have the kaf, so feet with the kwamat in it is the masculine. I meant to put that. Masculine. M stands for masculine. All right. So now, let me put MASC. MASC. All right. Now, in reviewing this lesson before we conclude out, Ma shalomek, I would say that to any female. A female would say Ma shalomek. All right. Ma shalom ka, as we went over, is to the male, be it female to male or male to male. Ma shalom ka, as we've gone over earlier. My peace is good because ma shalom ka or ma shalom mek, as we see here, all right, literally means what is or how is. Let's use this particular point here. What or how is your peace? When you're speaking to a female, the female keeping it positive will say shalom me tov. Now, why do I say keeping it positive? Because we don't want to say in learning this, shalom me ra'ah, shalom me pish'ah. No, we're not going there. All right? Because the word pesha means like transgression or so. And ra in Hebrew means evil or bad. So we don't want to say my peace is bad. That's not how we want to start learning this kind of grammar. Now, this, as pointed out, Hebrew conversation and manners. How are you is manners. How are you doing? That's manners. And not to get sidetracked, when somebody asks you how you doing and you don't ask back, you have no manners. You understand? So this is something, brothers and sisters, we just want to point out, all right, in that particular regard. Are there any questions concerning what we're going over? The lexicon we will get into, a Hebrew and English lexicon of the Old Testament. Now, this is in time, all right? I'm just showing that for reason and purposes. Now, this what we're about to show is a book that I suggest to get. Now, when I put Shaw, all right, and Shir, this is Shaw meaning singing, and Shir means song. All right, so Ani Shaw, I am singing Shir. Ani Shar Shar. Oh, pardon me. Ani Shar Shir. I am singing a song. If you are male singing it. All right. Ben Yehudas, as we've gone over in this lesson, all right, we've actually explained how to use this dictionary. On this channel, you may want to check out that video called How to Use a Dictionary in Hebrew. All right, so that way we can gain something for edification purposes. Now, brothers and sisters, all right, going back up to the very beginning, Hebrew for speaking. Shalom. The goal in this presentation, having already rehearsed the alphabet and vowels and becoming a reader, we want to work on our vocabulary. By doing so, a good standard dictionary is recommended. All right, so that's how we started off. Now, what I'm going to do at this time is take it upon myself to do two things in particular. All right, this here is the book that I recommend people get. So you want to learn Hebrew by Shoshana Bat Levi Hyman or Heman, sorry. All right. And the email to get her book, and her book inspired me to write this book that you see on the left-hand side. So what am I saying? If this book on the right-hand side didn't exist, this book on the left-hand side, 9 times out of 10 wouldn't exist because when I saw her book, I was motivated to write a book. But I want to emphasize in promoting a person who I see as kind of like a mother figure in Hebrew understanding, right? Um, Her email at showlevy@aol.com is the only way to get it. You can't get it on Amazon or so. My book you can get on lulu.com. Now, I want to emphasize if you buy it on lulu.com, it's cheaper for you and I get more money. If you buy it on Amazon, you spend more and I get less. So, but some people prefer only Amazon, so I had to put it on there in that regard. But if you want the person who inspired me to write a Hebrew book, you want to get this book on the right hand side. I have it. I bought it. I promise you, it is worth the money. I'm not going to advertise something that I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. You understand? No, because that would damage my channel. I'm not trying to do that. You understand? So once it comes down into that particular regard, are there any questions concerning this kind of subject? I can be reached at 908 587 4841. All right. Now, another thing, like I said, brothers and sisters, is this. I want to take the time out now, if we will, right? To go over a particular subject. And it's very rare for me to have done this, but I would like to do so. Okay, let's look at this right here for edification purposes. And I'm going to state what I'm talking about, right? Now, I am going to ask the people. Here is my PayPal, hkashub@yahoo.com, right? That's my PayPal. I am going to ask, not make it mandatory, because these classes are going to be free regardless. All right. But I'm going to ask if people can go to the PayPal, right? And get a thing, put money for those who are interested in it. Right? Pablo Allen. Okay. The Pablo Allen A609. All right. Let me show you what I'm going to write here. A 6. This is the number 09. This thing costs about $55. I don't expect one person to put that into the PayPal. But what I am asking in a nutshell to the class and to those who will listen to this later is to go to the PayPal. All right. PayPal is hkashub@yahoo.com. Right. And patronize. So that way we can see the Pablo Allen A609. Why? Because the penmanship on that will be better than the penmanship that we've been seeing so far. So that's the point in me asking for those who are interested, all right, concerning the Pablo Allen A609. It's a thing you can get on Amazon. And for those who will contribute, brothers and sisters, all right, my email for that, as stated, is hkashub@yahoo.com. The other thing, brothers and sisters, is if you look at it, 908 587 4841 and Yeshaya Danite on Facebook. You can inbox me as well for more information on what I'm talking about. Once this thing is acquired, the penmanship won't be, and I don't mean to, quote unquote, diss or insult self. It will be a lot more neater than this because it's an actual board that you can write in live time and erase and so forth, as opposed to using like the mouse. It has a pen as opposed to the mouse that I'm using. So that's the point in me suggesting that people donate to the PayPal, and from this particular point, we can move on and advance in the class. All right. So that's the point in this particular regard. All right. I'll say Toda for joining. It's about a quarter to 10 on a school night or a work night, or sometimes some people are actually at work now, or so forth. So the lesson is concluded. Thank you for your time, your patience, and your attention. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Giving honor and praise to the creator of heaven and earth. Are there any comments? Please feel free to put it when the video is uploaded. Shalom.